welcome back to the second episode of the podcast where we talk to real humans and their real stories. Today we got a special guest. His name's Gustavo. Last name Chivata.
Yeah.
I say it right?
Yeah.
Chivata.
Thank you, bro, for having me here.
Of course.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gustavo. I'm from Colombia. I moved here 3 years ago. And well, we met. We had the opportunity to work together before.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
We are in Vancouver right now, so he moved from Colombia all the way to Vancouver.
Yep.
Just 3 years, eh?
Yeah, 3 years ago I moved here.
Yeah.
I became a dad here, so it feels like home.
That's true. Keep it up.
Thanks, bro.
New father. So, what was it like growing up in Colombia? Were you born and raised in Colombia?
Yeah, born and raised in Colombia.
Yeah.
It was good. Not the best country. We all know we have a lot of problems in terms of security, corruption. Life is not that easy there, but fortunately, my family, my parents, they had enough to feed us, to keep us in good conditions. Mm-hmm. I'm not from the ghetto and the worst neighborhoods there in my city, but definitely it's way different than growing in Canada and in other countries. Sure. So I appreciate to being from Colombia because I can see life differently. I can compare in the different places that I've been, and I can appreciate now when I get things. I appreciate things better than some other people, I think.
You have both perspectives, right?
Yeah,
I feel a lot of people who grew up in North America or even Europe, they don't see that part of the world.
They don't see that.
Yeah.
They don't really know how privileged they are.
Yeah. Okay. It does make you grateful for a lot of things.
Oh, 100%.
So you must be happy you're growing your son?
My son.
Your son.
Yeah, he's growing here. Yes, I'm very happy. Definitely, I would love to take him to Colombia and live a little bit more like what I lived there. But I'm happy to have him here.
For sure.
Way better conditions for kids, school conditions, health system. So I'm very happy here.
Okay. I want to talk about what made you move to Canada. Like, why Canada?
So to Canada, it's interesting because I left my country like 9 years ago. Okay. And then I started traveling. I lived in different countries, and I was living in China for 3 years.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay.
So that's why I was living in China. Then I met my wife. My wife is from Ukraine, so we wanted to be in a kind of, not in the middle. It's not the middle, but like near to either my country or her country. Okay. So that's why I wanted to find a nice place to be.
Can we go back? You said you lived in China for 3 years?
I did.
You
live in China.
You went from Colombia to China?
No. I did Colombia, New Zealand.
Okay.
Then from New Zealand, I moved to, I was in the States just for some months, like 6 months traveling. And then I moved to China.
Okay. So let's go back even further. Let's go to New Zealand. What made you go to New Zealand? Is that strictly travel?
Not really. Okay. New Zealand was my excuse to get out of Colombia.
Gotcha.
For Colombians, it's not that easy to get a visa to go out. You know, back in the 90s, with all of the narco stuff and problems, our passport just got very crashed, and then it was hard for us to get visas. So the easiest way for most of us is just studying, because you need to pay. Right. You show that you have money, or they'll let you out, right? So I had to study. I got a short English course, and I stayed in New Zealand for a while. I wanted to stay there.
So you studied English in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was too far from home.
Right. It's across the world, man.
Yeah, it's like 16 like 16 hours difference. I don't know. It's like this It's just around the other side of the world. So that was the only reason why I didn't want to stay there.
Did you like New Zealand?
It was too far. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Okay.
So that's why then I decided, I was like, okay, let's see where I'm gonna go. Decided to travel. I traveled around southeast of Asia. Okay. I spent a couple of months there.
Even Indonesia?
No.
No.
Okay. No, that was one of the places that I missed, unfortunately, but I would like to go. I went to Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos.
You're well traveled.
Yeah.
And how'd you end up in China?
I ended up in China. Well, it's funny because I met I met two girls in Thailand.
Okay.
My wife is gonna see this and she's not gonna be happy. So I met them. We had a good connection. Then we continued talking, and they used to live in China. They were not Chinese, but they used to live in China.
Okay.
And then,
are they Thai? They're from Thailand?
No.
Okay.
They're from other different places of the world.
Okay.
And then I wanted to go and visit them. They told me like, let's try to get a job in China. Like, okay, but how? But I'm a Spanish teacher also, and that's why I started
You're also
applying.
a Spanish teacher? Okay.
Yeah. So I started applying. I got a job there.
As a Spanish teacher?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was Spanish and teaching some English, like basic English, vowels and basic stuff. So yeah, I moved to China because I got a job. Then I went. I stayed there for a while. It was a good experience. Then I met my wife, and then we wanted to settle down. So that's the reason why we're trying to find different options, and we ended up here in Canada.
Gotcha. China. Did you ever experience any racism in China?
A lot of racism.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, they have a very despective word for foreigners, which is like Wai Goren.
Wai Goren?
It's like foreigner, but in Lao Wai. It's actually Lao Wai.
Lao Wai.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the meaning, but it's like somebody from the outside. But it's disrespectful, and you see everybody there in China. You're walking and they start like, hey, Lao Wai, Lao Wai, Lao Wai.
Yeah,
so you feel it a lot. Also with the tattoos, right? They don't have a good concept of tattooed people.
So you already tatted up when you went to China?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Any story that really stuck out to you with regards of racism?
So not a story, but in China you better avoid problems, right? Because if there is a problem with a Chinese, they will always be they'll always win, right? So you better don't get in trouble, because just for the fact that you're not from there, you won't win. Even if it's not your fault, even if the problem happened for another reason, for a third person.
Yeah. I think that's every country though. Every country you're not from.
Yeah, but you see it a lot there.
Yeah.
You see it a lot. So yeah, not really stories. There are a couple of stories, but just like in general, you feel a lot the difference and the racism.
So those two girls, did they help you a lot in China?
Not really. Just went, visit them, and I moved to another city.
Trying to get her in trouble.
Please not, man.
And then you met your wife.
Then I met my wife.
Okay, how did you meet your wife? Can you share a story how you met her?
Yeah, we had a friend in common, and then she followed me on Instagram.
She followed you first?
Yeah, I thought it was a catfish, man.
Okay.
Because she was beautiful, so cute, beautiful, and she followed me, and then she started liking my pictures, and I started liking her pictures back.
Here we go.
I thought it was catfish, man. Sometimes you don't even know when they're flirting. Sometimes you don't know if it's true. So like, okay, that's catfish.
There we go.
And then I started texting her, and well, it was not. She was real.
So you guys met through social media?
Yeah, social media. Then we met, went to have dinner, and that's it. It was, since the first time, it was good connection. And yeah.
Congrats, and you guys just had a little son?
Yeah, the first date.
How old is he now?
10 months.
10 months.
He's about to turn in 11 months.
So. Nice. My puppy is 11 months.
Very similar, right? Having a puppy or a baby.
Did your wife live in China? Was she traveling?
No, she lived in China.
She lived in China as well.
She actually spent 8 years in China, so her Chinese is great. She has a very good Chinese.
Can you speak a little Chinese?
I do understand some Chinese.
Okay.
And I can kind of go to the restaurant and order. I can recognize some characters. So I can do like, it's like survival Chinese.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy.
That's my level, yeah. I was learning, but then I met my wife and she speaks very well, so I just got into my comfort zone and I stopped learning just because I had her, and I did not really need to use Chinese anymore.
Okay, gotcha.
That's
but your wife speaks Chinese?
Yeah, fluent Chinese.
Damn, okay. So she speaks Ukrainian?
She speaks Ukrainian, Russian, Chinese, English, and Spanish.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And you speak 3 then?
I do speak
2.5.
Kind of, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm supposed to speak also Portuguese and French.
Okay.
But I haven't practiced for a long time, so don't use it and you lose it.
There we go. Yeah.
So they say.
Okay, so then you guys dated in China, ended up deciding to move here.
Yeah. In China, we got married in Ukraine, and then we decided to move here.
It's crazy life.
It's been all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a point that you want to definitely settle down.
So is Vancouver where you're gonna?
So maybe not Vancouver, because it's expensive. I want to have a big house, big backyard, and nice garage to set up my own gym.
There you go.
Stuff like that. But in Vancouver, it's a little bit more expensive. So I'm pretty sure with a good amount of money, I can buy something bigger in another place. Maybe still Canada. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be maybe a little farther, maybe another province, other place, but maybe Canada would be.
Do you like the suburbs or do you like a city?
Suburbs more.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I don't like people, man.
Really?
We want to stay away. We want to be like the only neighbors that we have, maybe grizzly bears and raccoons. But yeah, that's more the type of life that I want, that we would like to have, because I'm from a big city.
Yeah.
My wife is from a village.
Okay.
But I prefer more quiet, more low key. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's more peaceful. For sure.
100%.
How was the process of moving here?
It's not easy, man. You need to. Moving. Just the fact to move, even if you move from one neighborhood to another one, there's always a process you need to get used to. Well, even more when you do it from one country to another one, right?
Was it difficult getting like a visa?
It's not easy. So yeah, there are a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff that you need.
In my case, like before we moved here, I had, since I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, it would be in and out the lawyer's office trying to get a permanent residence. We ended up getting like 5, 6, 7 years later. It's tough.
Well, yeah, it was not hard for you, for your family, because you were a teenager, right?
So you're a personal trainer right now.
Yes.
So you went from when did you become a personal trainer?
I started with fitness about 5 years ago, like seriously, because I used to train before. I used to work out, just like sometimes working out. But I like party also.
You like partying? Okay.
So,
yeah, you can tell.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay.
I'm a dad now, so I don't like that anymore.
So for the past 10 months.
But before I used to like partying a lot.
Yeah.
So it was on and off. Sometimes I was working out, then coming back to just partying, being with my buddies. So I was never really consistent. So I can say I started serious like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I had a trainer in Colombia, and then I started understanding more about this. Like people sometimes don't understand that this is not just about go and lift heavy stuff.
Not at all, yeah.
So I started understanding more, and then I got more into fitness when I saw results myself in China. Actually, people around were asking me, "Hey, what do you do? How do you get in that shape and stuff?"
Yeah.
So I started helping people. Like low-key cash, to be honest.
Right.
Some buddies, my friends around China, and I was like, okay, I'm not bad at this. I like teaching. I'm a patient person when it comes to teach, right? Because I'm a teacher, so that background helps me to be patient. So I was like, why not? Then my wife pushed me a lot. She was like, get your cert here in Canada.
That's good.
And try to do it. I was a little bit afraid, to be honest, to start something new, to get out of that comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Then I got it. I got my cert here. I did it face to face because I don't like to do online stuff.
Which cert did you get?
I got NASM.
NASM, okay.
Yeah, but I did it like 1-to-1. Because I don't like online because you don't receive the same feedback. You don't have somebody there always to correct you and tell you what to do, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So I got it. I started working as a PT. I like it. It's my passion. I like to help people, and I feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So that's how I started actually like doing it professionally and just live out of that.
Right, got you. And do you think you're going to be personal training for the rest of your career?
Maybe not. I have more like a entrepreneur mindset,
right.
So I would like to do something else. So yeah, I opened already my independent like company to do my
Personal
PT.
training. It's called WILDFORM.
WILDFORM.
Links will be down below.
Please follow me. Yeah, so yes, I just started with that. I have my other job.
Yeah.
But yes, that's something that I want to grow with. I want to make a brand out of that. I want to start helping people, busy dads. Well, now with my son.
Is that the niche you're going for?
That's my niche right now. Yes, I want to help parents in general, moms to become stronger. You see out there a lot of people that really needs to work in that work at a fitness level, because this is not about just looking good and looking lean and fun for summer.
Yeah.
It's all about thinking about when you age.
Longevity as well.
Longevity.
Yeah. Most people don't even think about that.
They don't think about it, and then one day you will feel it. You see a lot of people out there walking with canes or
Exactly,
in wheelchairs when they turn like 80 years old, and that's why you hear a lot of people joking and talking about their joints in pain when they are like 35 years old.
But it's true.
Man, I'm 30, I'm 31, but I'm healthy, I'm strong, and I feel like I'm still in my prime, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's more about that, about lifestyle, about becoming strong and being that role model for your kids.
Right. So you just said you have an entrepreneur mindset, right?
Yeah.
So you're striving for more, you're ambitious obviously, right? How do you juggle that with a job, a wife, and a kid?
Oh, bro, it's not easy.
Not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You need to think a lot. You need to organize your time. You need to sacrifice time.
Yeah.
Now, when I talk about sacrifices, is sacrifice the wake up next to my son and my wife. Sacrifice the little things that you know you're not gonna have your baby that tiny for so long, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And you need to live the moment. If you become a dad, you will understand that. That's what people always say, and that's true. You will understand it when you become a dad. Those little moments, little experiences, those are things that are never gonna come back, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the sacrificing those things, like waking up early, leave your house, go and keep working out, because that's the other thing, right?
For
keep
sure.
working out, my job, my new business, keep my wife happy,
Yeah.
my friends still hang out with my buddies.
Right. Because you gotta keep yourself happy as well.
Exactly. So it's a lot. Something that I'm still figuring out, because it's only 10 months, right? So
and your wife is doing a great job, I'm assuming, supporting you.
Oh yeah, she's doing amazing. She's the one that keeps me strong and keep me focused. Both of them, they are the one that keep me always there.
You little baby boy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is like me, Gus. Also,
His
Gustavo.
name's Gus?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Gustavo. Yeah.
His name is Gustavo.
Yeah.
Gustavo Jr.
People call me Gus here in Canada. It's easier. Yeah.
Okay. Got you, man. Yeah, it's rough, yeah.
It is hard, man. And I call him Gus just after my dad.
Is your dad's name Gustavo?
Yeah. He passed away 4 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's alright, man. It's alright now. He passed away 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And well, definitely he was my role model, my superhero. So then my wife was the one who told me, like, why you don't call him Gus? Like, Gustavo, like your dad. And I was like, yeah, why not? So after my dad, so I have my. Every time I see him, every time I talk to him, it's reflecting my dad over there. So it's beautiful.
You were super close with your dad then?
Yeah, we were very close. So it was hard. Still, it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
But man, that's life, right?
Right.
That's life, and unfortunately, we will need to say always bye to people that we love.
You're just continuing his legacy then, yeah?
Yeah.
So, Gus number 1, Gus 2, Gus 3.
Yeah, Gus the third.
Okay. Are you planning to have a second son?
Oh no, yeah, man, we don't know. We don't.
You're good.
We don't think so. No, yeah, it's tough.
It's tough,
very hard.
Do you remember the day your son was born, and how did you feel?
Oh man, yeah. So that was January 11th last year. It was in the morning, so my wife woke me up with the contractions already.
Yeah.
We went to the doctor. It was a long. I forgot the name.
Operation.
No. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, we went to the hospital in the morning.
Yeah.
And we spent there like 26 hours waiting and waiting until he came out. Actually, we were expecting a girl.
You were expecting a girl?
Yeah,
Okay.
the doctors messed up and they gave us somebody else DNA test and results. So
they gave you someone else's DNA?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
So we thought he was gonna be a girl. He came out and we saw him like, damn, what's going on? Like,
it's not a girl.
What's that? That's not a girl, right?
Were you happy inside?
Yeah, I was happy. I wanted to have a boy.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we got a boy finally. So it was a boy. So we were so it was a surprise first.
Right.
Because we were not expecting him. We were expecting a girl. So that was the first surprise. Second, the moment that you see the baby, when you can hold him after waiting for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's a whole other level of experience.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of tears when you see your baby. It's just like you get a weakness for yourself, right? It's a weakness. It's, even if you think you're strong, if you think you don't have like a real weakness, when you see your baby, like then now I have now
it's a mini
me that I need to look for. Like, I need to take care of him and my wife, right? So it's tough and it's a beautiful experience. I don't know. It's hard to describe that experience because it's very, very deep, right?
That's crazy.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, when I first met him, no kid.
No kid.
No kid.
Yeah.
Also, my next question, we can cut this out if you don't want it in there, but were you guys planning for the baby?
We were not actually at that time. We were talking about having a baby, but not exactly when everything happened. Yeah. We were projecting ourselves a little bit more like towards the beginning of 2025.
Yeah.
So it happened before. So it was not like a huge surprise. We were like, okay, it's now, let's do it.
Gotcha. Do you believe in God?
No, I don't believe in God.
Oh my God, okay.
I'm atheist. Well, from my whole family is Catholic.
Right, okay, that's what I was wondering, because I feel like Colombians.
Yeah, South Americans, Colombians are very religious. In my case, I'm not. I was when I was a kid. Well, traditionally, right?
Was your family super religious?
Not super, but they are religious though.
Okay.
They still have the religion as an important part of their life. But yeah, I was not. When I turned like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years old, 11 years old, I started doubting and reading and kind of asking more, digging a little bit, digging a little deeper.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just figured out that from my beliefs, I don't believe.
Gotcha, okay. For your son, for him growing up, how do you want to raise him? I have a question, this question is for you. So are you going to raise him similarly to the way you were raised? Opposite? Different?
Well, it's hard because when you talk about similar the way that I was raised, we're talking about 30 years ago, right? So things have changed.
Yeah.
We were talking about times where there was no internet, times where there was only a couple of channels on the TV, stuff like that, right? There was no internet, not cell phones. There was more like playing outside, getting dirty, eat dirt. You know what I mean? Like it was raw, it was savage. And that's something that nowadays maybe we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Now we have cell phones, we have technology, so definitely take advantage out of that technology. I don't like to get my baby too much into screens and
so you're not gonna give
cell
him an
phones.
iPad? He doesn't have an iPad right now?
No, fuck that. Fuck iPad.
I always see babies in a stroller, bro, holding an iPad while I'm walking my dog.
I won't do it, man. I won't do it. I wake up every day at 4 a.m. So I'm not this kind of that. So that's what I'm talking about with WILDFORM.
Yeah.
I wake up early. The one who wake up my son. I'm not this kind of parents like, oh, you don't know what's gonna be to wake up late, because I don't care. I don't wake up late, never. Wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Yeah. 4:30. Even during the weekends, I don't turn on my alarm, and I wake up at 5.
It's naturally wake up. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be the type of dad that I'm gonna be the one waking up my son, going out, let's go to the park, let's go to the gym, let's go to do this, let's go to hike.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be very active, and that's my plan and how I'm gonna keep his mind busy, how I'm gonna develop those kind of different skills for his life. He swims already. He's been in swimming classes since
he swims?
Yeah,
Damn, okay.
well, he can dive a little bit.
But he can like stay alive in the water?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
No,
okay.
he still needs us.
Okay.
So since he's 4 months, I'm in this kind of activities, and that's what I want to do for him. I want to get him into sports, get him into stuff that I didn't have the chance when I was a kid.
Did you play sports growing up?
No, we didn't
sports?
have. No, not really. I used to play basketball, ping pong, but just for fun. Just when I was a kid, when I was little. But my family they never got me into sports.
Yeah.
So I never received that motivation. I don't know, I'll say ignorance could be.
Yeah.
They didn't say it as a priority, which I do. I do see it as a priority from my perspective. They never say it as a priority. Maybe there was not the economical conditions to be paying every month courses and stuff like that. So maybe that's the reason why.
Do you have siblings?
I do.
How many?
I have 2 siblings.
Okay.
So I have the oldest is, I don't know how old is my brother.
Younger, older?
Older.
Okay.
And so then first my brother, then my sister. So I'm the youngest.
Are you close with your siblings?
Yeah, very close.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them. They're in Colombia, but we're always there, always calling them. Always, whenever they need me, they just give me a call or vice versa.
I'm assuming they haven't met little Gus.
They met
already?
recently, yeah.
Nice,
We went recently to Miami.
Okay,
So,
the whole family went?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had the chance to meet.
Gotcha, perfect. For your son, what kind of sports you want him to play?
I like physical contact sports. I like Muay Thai. I like fighting
that's good,
stuff.
Man. Yeah,
so that's a good skill also for him to learn. So I want to get him into this kind of sports, but I'm not gonna push him. Let him be whatever he likes. Definitely the gym must be there.
What if he wants to do ballet?
Oh, bro, go for it, man. Why not?
Okay.
Nah, just kidding. I don't think so. I believe they always grow like looking after what the father, what the family do and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna like more masculine things. No offense. But it's fine. But
are you gonna allow him to get tattoos?
How am I gonna say no, bro?
Like how young? how young would you like?
18. Once he turns 18.
What if he's like 15?
He gotta wait.
Yeah, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo I think when I was like 13 years old.
Okay, see?
Yeah, of course my parents didn't agree. They didn't know. So I did.
Did you cover it up? You still have it?
No, I have it. It's like low here, abdomen.
Yeah.
I didn't cover it up. I have covered a couple of tattoos. But there are some of them that even if they're not the best, they're not good looking. I keep them because I'm still proud of them.
Memories,
memories, and there's a history behind.
So all your tattoos, are there stories behind all of them?
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
After I think I have like 38 tattoos right now. 36.
Okay, you count, yeah.
So after the 20th tattoo is like, okay, let's do something for fun, and that's it. Yeah.
What's your favorite tattoo?
My favorite?
You could show.
So maybe not my favorite, but it's something that brings me memories and is important to me. It's right here in this one right here.
Okay, it's a helmet.
So yeah, it's a helmet. I love motorcycles, and we had a motorcycle club back in Colombia. So one of my best friends had an accident and he died. So that's his helmet actually.
Okay.
That's his helmet. That's why the helmet has roses around. For me, roses are more like the symbol of death and stuff. So so I did that because it was his helmet. It was the day of the accident. I was there, so we kind of saw everything what happened. So it was a little traumatic, to be honest. Well, losing your good friend in front of you, have him in your arms, is tough, right?
Yeah.
And seeing his life going away is tough. So that's why that one is one of the ones that have more value for me, and definitely I'll never cover it up, and I love that.
Sorry to hear that.
too. Yeah, man.
Does that make you afraid of riding motorcycles?
No, not really.
Does that make your wife afraid of you riding motorcycles?
She's afraid, but I don't have a motorcycle here. I would love to.
Yeah.
But definitely now be more respectful with in terms of speed and stuff, because now I have
A kid.
somebody that
And a
I
wife.
need to look after. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. If your kid asked you about your life, like later on in the future, what do you hope they would understand about you?
Well, I don't know, man. I'll say my life was not bad.
Yeah.
In terms of, again, I mentioned that before, my parents had enough,
Yeah.
but the conditions, the neighborhood where I was living, my friends, they were not the best.
Right.
There were a lot of bad people around me.
Yeah.
So the people that I grew up with, they were not the best, right? So influences, a lot of bad influences that made me do also some bad things. And then the part of kind of drugs and alcohol comes in, and party. So these kind of things sometimes make you act wrong, right?
Right.
But I cannot consider myself like bad or like I was super against and stuff. Yeah, people around had a lot of friends around me, gangsta people doing bad
What's the
stuff.
worst trouble you've gotten yourself into? If you don't mind sharing.
The world's
The worst trouble.
Oh man, I have a couple. Maybe fights.
Fights.
Maybe, yeah, one day I got into a fight and I didn't notice I had somebody behind me beating my head. And I turned around and I started beating that person, and then I realized it was the police. It was the police. It was not the other team from where we were fighting.
Right.
So it was a police. So it was big trouble there because
Did you
you
go
know
there?
what happened if you hit a police, right?
Right.
It's even more. No, I was a minor.
Is your mind
I
okay?
was a minor, and I got my father and influences to help us because my father has some friends that
That's what's up.
also into the police. And you know how it is with police, right? If you have influences, you're good.
Especially in a corrupt country.
Especially in a very corrupt
understand,
country.
yeah.
So yeah, you can fix everything with some money, and yeah, fortunately I had my dad's support, and he helped me to get out of that trouble. But that was something that definitely I was gonna get into trouble because it was bad. The police was hurt badly. So yeah, that was one of those that I would be like, okay, that was not good.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to training. What's your training style looking like right now?
I'm very hybrid.
Okay.
So that's like my concept, being a hybrid athlete. Nowadays with social media, sometimes people think training and fitness is just about bodybuilding.
Right.
I think bodybuilding became very, very popular right now.
Yeah.
So now there is this misconception of just bodybuilding and just become jacked and super big.
I agree with that.
But my concept is more hybrid. I do calisthenics. I do hypertrophy training, gym. I love the gym.
Yeah.
But still, I run. I can run a half marathon. I'm actually gonna run the half marathon
The
this
BMO?
June. No, not the BMO.
Okay.
There's another one in June. I think it's the Vancouver Marathon, something like that. Not
Okay.
sure about the name. But I can run. I can jump high.
Yeah.
I can lift pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So at least all of the big lifts, bench press, I'll say is that I can do a heavy bench press,
Yeah.
deadlift, squat. So it's like I'm competitive in every aspect. I can do muscle ups, I can hold front levers, I can hold back levers, stuff like that.
So it's not like with bodybuilding, it's purely aesthetics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with your training style, it's very functional.
It's functional. I also adapt to what my clients like, right?
Of course, yeah.
Depend on their goals.
Camera died, my fault. Anyway, what were we on about? About functional training.
Yeah, about training. So yeah, basically that's the thing. Over the years,
Yeah.
your goals change, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So in my case, I want to look good first. Before it was maybe for the dating part, right? Looking good, blah blah blah.
You got your wife now, right?
Now then I got my wife, and then to stay looking good for her, right?
Yeah.
And then with a baby, is also to stay looking good for my wife, so she doesn't get tired with me.
Right. Yeah.
And also be a good role model for my son. That every time he talks to me, I want him to talk the same way that I talk about my dad, right? Being my superhero, being the strongest, right? That's when you're a dad. I think that's one of the very nice things that you can hear from a son, right?
Yeah.
My kid still doesn't talk, right? But that's what I want him to talk about. Like when he's at school, that he's gonna say my dad is the strongest, and then when I show up there, I'm gonna be the strongest, right?
There we go.
So that's exactly what I want. That's my goal right now. That's what I try to do with people.
Right.
There are a lot of excuses. All of that is bullshit. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have blah blah blah. I don't like to eat. I don't like to track my food. I'm not gonna do it. So man, there are thousands of excuses. You just need to find solutions, right? And that's what I always want to show people, that you have the time. You can always do something about those problems or excuses that you have. I don't have enough time sometimes, but I do
it anyway.
I do it anyway, right?
Like make it important enough for them to actually do it.
Yeah. So that's my type of training. Very hybrid. So if you ask me to jump, I can jump. If you ask me to climb, I can climb. Not like, no, I'm too big that I cannot even move my arms. No, not like that. So
Gotcha. Okay. I got one last question for you.
Yeah.
What's your bench press?
My bench.
All time.
Man, nice. It's not too much. I'll say it's 245.
Really? Okay.
245, maybe 4 reps.
Okay, 245 for reps.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it's not too much.
It's not too
But
much.
it's more than the average.
Yeah, and you can muscle up, so.
I can muscle up though.
There we go. Alright, Gustavo, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you again. Thank you for inviting me, man.
Perfect. Okay. This is Gustavo. I'll leave all his links down below. If you want to get some personal training from him, anything you want to follow him, everything will be down below. Peace.
Thank you.